Alright, so I just saw Gladiator 2, and why do you look so baffled, you might be wondering? I wasn't expecting to see Gladiator 2 tonight. So every few Mondays or so, AMC does a mystery movie, 7 p.m., whatever your time zone is. And you only get 2 hints, the rating and the approximate runtime. The only exception is if it's a scary movie. They will tell you if it's a scary movie. But very rarely, almost never, do they have big blockbuster movies as the mystery movie. Typically, it's a smaller film that needs that push, a little extra boost. This does not need an extra boost, okay? Everybody and their mama's going to have an opportunity to see this movie between this weekend and Christmas. But I imagine they picked this to be the mystery movie because there were also Amazon screenings for Wicked tonight. Now, as cool as it was to see this movie early, and what a surprise that was, I'm a little mad about it. Because, number one, I had my ticket for it on Thursday. Yes, Savannah, you got to see it early. My ticket on Thursday was for IMAX. I didn't see this in IMAX. The IMAX screenings were for Wicked. The theater that I was in, that screen was way too small and not dark enough. So, highly recommend, if you're planning on seeing this movie, you need to see it on IMAX. Prime, Dolby Digital. You need to see this on a very large screen with great sound in a theater that's really, really dark. Unless they did it digitally, there's a lot of day for night shooting, which I've never been a fan of, but that's neither here nor there. And day for night shooting to me only looks good when the room is really, really dark. That being said, directed by Ridley Scott, stars Paul Mescal, Pedro Pascal, Connie Nielsen, Denzel Washington, Joseph Quinn, and a whole host of other people. So this is the sequel to the 2000 film Gladiator, which starred Russell Crowe. Epic, incredible movie, right? That's a movie that I saw one time and never saw again, which is another reason why I was kind of upset that this was the mystery movie, because I was planning on rewatching that, because I haven't seen it in, 20 years. There goes that opportunity. Now, do you need to watch that first movie in order to understand what's happening here? No. Honestly, that movie is so pop culture. I mean, you have to be an infant to not know what's going on. This movie picks up some 20-ish years later. If you remember, Maximus had a son named Lucius. That's who we're following along now. That's basically mentioned in the trailer. I wouldn't consider it a spoiler. He was living in another place. Rome decided they wanted to attack that place, and they lost, so he's captured. He's now a slave, and now he's been bought basically to be a gladiator with the hope, sorta, of, earning his freedom. Before I continue, the movie's good. It's very, very good. It's just kind of all over the place in terms of, theme, conflict, goals. The movie didn't really kind of narrow down on what it's about, what's the goal here. It seems the overall goal is to, I don't know, it's like, are we overthrowing Rome, or are we trying to restore Rome? Because, everybody's got their own agenda here. The problem is you have so many different, lines on the spider web. They don't really connect. There's not much of a center of gravity here. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing in the same place, and it can get a little confusing at times. Honestly, this felt like it was trying to ride the momentum of the first one. You can't really recreate that magic. I mean, they don't make epics like this anymore. So it's definitely an epic of epic proportions, but it doesn't match the epicness of that original 2000 film. So 2001, the 73rd Academy Awards. This film got the most wins and most nominations. 12 nominations, 5 overall wins, including Best Lead Actor and Best Picture. Does this movie hit that level? No, but it's entertaining. It's definitely bloodier. I think it does what it needs to do, but it's just not as cohesive and put together as that original. Honest to God, I need Ridley Scott to just take a break. Because look, the man knows how to style a film. He knows how to make a beautiful piece of motion picture art. Okay, so, Napoleon was just extravagant and gorgeous, beautifully shot. Some amazing choreography. Golly, that one scene, that was epic. Anyways, so he knows how to make a film look beautiful. I think the man has lost his touch a little bit on how to really weave together a proper story, and that's where Napoleon kind of fell. I feel like this falls there as well, but it's entertaining. It does what it needs to do. You're not coming here for a, intricate plot. You're coming to be entertained. And are you going to be entertained? I think so. I was entertained. Now, I've heard some discussion here or there about whether or not Mr. Paul, our Irish friend over here, was the right person to cast in this role. I don't think it's necessarily about whether he was right or wronged. I don't think he's utilized enough or used enough. He plays our lead in this role for us to really determine whether or not he was right or wrong. He's more of a pawn. He's just a moving piece. This is Denzel's movie. The problem with Denzel Washington is that once he steps into the frame, he never leaves it. Even when the scene isn't about him, even when he's not even in the scene, he never leaves the frame. His presence is so vast and so huge and so influential that you feel him even when he's not there. I expect nothing less from Denzel Washington. But yeah, this is his movie. Now, was he the right person or the wrong person for the role? Is his role here historically accurate? Who cares? The man owned this movie. Paul Mescal, though, my God, that man is beautiful. He's so pretty. He does a good job, though. I just don't think he was used enough, and that's a tragedy. I think he has a presence. There was something in him that was bursting to come out, and Ridley Scott was just not tapping into that at all. I think he has the potential to be a leading man in an epic this size. He just wasn't given room to breathe. What I did like, though, was the unfolding of our characters, how we got to learn a lot about them through their behavior and their actions. I don't know, I'm such a nerd. I like it when character development is kind of quiet. So my issues with this are mainly narrative issues. Technically, it's gorgeous. Costuming is just beautiful. Set design, production design, gorgeous. In terms of where this could potentially fit for Oscars, I think this might squeeze in there for production design. If I were Paramount, I would campaign for Denzel Washington for Best Supporting Actor. I don't know what that field looks like right now, but I would push for it, definitely. Because like I said, the man just fills every frame he's in, even when he's not in it. Now, the question is, what am I going to do this weekend? I've gotten so used to going to the movies every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I don't know what I'm going to do because I'm seeing a movie tomorrow. I'm seeing a movie on Wednesday, Wicked. I'm seeing Wicked on Wednesday. And then I was supposed to see this, IMAX, on Thursday. Do I keep my ticket and just see it in IMAX and see what the difference is? The movie that I was going to see on Friday, I saw that last Monday. I don't know what I'm going to do. Like what? Take a break until Moana? I'm seeing that next Tuesday. I mean, overall, I'd say that's a solid 7.5 out of 10. But highly recommend, if and when you do see this, see it in IMAX or something adjacent in size. This needs to be seen on a very, very large screen. I cannot stress that enough. You're not going to get the full extent of what this movie carries on a screen that small. I felt like I was missing a piece, if that makes sense. I mean, if you need another reason, Paul Mescal and his pretty blue eyes, I almost fainted.